Those of us in the movie business have a polite euphemism for somebody who's a pain in the ass. Whether it's an actor or whether it's a director, if they're a pain to work with, we always call them a perfectionist. The only real perfectionist I ever knew in this business was Stanley Kubrick. Me, I'm Sydney Pollack, I'm a movie director, and this is The Essentials here on Turner Classic Movies. These are the movies you have to see in order to be a proper certified movie fan. And if you've been following The Essentials, you know that Stanley Kubrick's name keeps coming up. He directed Dr. Strangelove, Spartacus, Paths of Glory, also Lolita and Eyes Wide Shut. But probably the most famous Kubrick movie is the one we're about to see, 2001, A Space Odyssey. This probably is the movie that set Kubrick apart from the crowd forever. Because of 2001, people who never followed movies, that is, who didn't think about directors, became Stanley Kubrick fans. It was 1968 when this movie came out, and it was, in a 60s way, totally awesome. People who were tripping on this movie, a lot of the time, were also tripping on recreational drugs. But not Stanley, there's no way. His control, the way he grabs your attention and makes you think, is something not many filmmakers can do. I still don't know how, I can't figure out how he did this film, how he got his ideas, or how he did it technically, before there was computer-generated anything. 2001's an amazingly visual film. Everything you see, every frame, hits you in the guts. Happens so regularly right from the start of the movie that you begin to take it for granted. Kubrick gets to our feelings in a way that's not highbrow or brainy, even though he's dealing with really big stuff. It's science fiction, but it's really about our place in the universe and our future as a race. You have to remember that in 1968, the year 2001 sounded like Never Never Land, a long way off. Stanley found a way to handle the material with a direct, emotional style. The things that are spoken, the words are almost incidental. Kubrick uses pictures and time and sounds instead of our regular language. And while we're talking about other languages, we ought to talk about the music. There's that famous da, 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 da-da that comes from Thus Spake Zarathustra by the classical composer Richard Strauss. Stanley's feeling was, when you have Strauss, Beethoven, Wagner, Stravinsky, all the classical geniuses, why would you ever hire somebody else to score a movie? So Stanley used the classics, especially in this film. He spent something like 5 years making 2001, which he did with most of his films. 5 years of hard and meticulous work, living with the material, and it shows in every frame. Kubrick was just a guy from the Bronx, but somehow he could see things nobody else could see. 2001 became almost a dividing line between the way movies were and the way they are and would be. As I mentioned earlier, I knew Kubrick for many years, but I'm not sure it was possible to really know Stanley. You could know maybe certain aspects, but the man, just like his movies, was enigmatic, kind of mysterious in an all-good way. Right now you should see the movie. There are a bunch of monkeys, a computer named Hal, and one of the most inspired transitions ever in any movie, when a bone turns into a spaceship. Trust me, it works. The Essential, 2001, A Space Odyssey.